Hi, welcome to the Retirement Railroad. I'm Steve, and it's the first week of August 2021, which means it's time to go back and look at layout update for July. And most of July was spent again working on infrastructure, working on cameras, running lines, acquiring more cameras. Moving the computer out, getting the different lines run, balancing the video inputs between the three USB bus lines. And what I talk about there is you can't overload a single bus line with graphics, because each bus line has a max amount that it can handle. So what I've done is my computer has three USB bus lines with 2 ports per bus. Alright. And so on each of those 3, I put a powered switch in and located the powered switches in different areas of the train room, running lines to each one of those 3 powered switches. Then from each one of those powered switches, there's 2 cameras. Okay, give me a grand total of 6. Now my software will also allow for 1 IP camera. All right, so I can use my cell phone as an additional camera, making it a total of 8. Okay, so that's kind of the camera update. Another thing I've done is rebuilt the island. I've talked about it before in my tips of the day. It originally sat at the same height as this cabinet to my left, which you can't see on this, and which would be about 3 inches higher than this area right, than the roundhouse area, which made for a steep grade getting from here up to there, and likewise on the other side of the room. So rebuilt that top, lowered it down, put it on hinges and such, finished up the framing for the drop bridge, built the drop-in section frame and decking, or part of the decking, that connects the island back over to Lockport Industrial. So that kept me real busy for most of the month. All right. So, and just to put it in perspective, let's change views here. And as you can see, the island over there, the drop down is actually in the down position now. The lift out over there is stored behind the island, and so we're moving right along. And one of the projects that I did a couple projects. I had bought one of these self-contained airbrushes, Steve 87 PSAT, something like that. Steve 87, younger Steve. And he had bought one of these. I saw it on one of his videos, and I said, that may be exactly what I needed. So I bought one. All right. And my first airbrushing project was this heavyweight car. When I bought it, it was undecorated and silver. So I repainted the frame. Into black. Alright. And then I repainted the shell itself into an olive green, which did not match the rest of my heavyweight cars, because this is Pullman green. So I repainted it Pullman green, I added the railing on the back. It's brass. And then I added windows, giving me a very nice heavyweight Burlington, and I decaled it too. If you've never used microset, I highly recommend it. What it does is it takes away the clear film of a decal. So, and then once I use the microset on the decals, let it dry, then I came over before I put the windows in and did a matte finish. Okay, so now you cannot tell. I don't care how close up you look, you cannot tell it's decal. It looks like it's printed paint on there, like you would get from the factory. So I was really excited about that. And for my first airbrushing, I mean, there's a couple imperfections. Again, I'm not a prototypical modeler. I'm a proto representative, and sitting from here to there, you can't tell a difference. So, and that's all I care about. Okay? And so with that, we're going to go ahead and run some trains. And the train of the month is the Burlington Blackhawk with that new observation on it. So stay tuned and enjoy the trains. So the Burlington Blackhawk is leaving Union Station, headed towards Minneapolis, St. Paul. Numerous railroads had overnight trains that specialized in leaving late afternoons, early evenings, and arriving the next morning. These were popular in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and even into the early 60s for business travelers in particular. They could get off work one night, get a sleeper berth in an overnight train to a destination that they're headed to, and be fresh and ready for a business meeting the next morning. And the Burlington Blackhawk was one such train. There were numerous other notable trains. The Pennsylvania's Broadway Limited, Baltimore and Ohio's Capital City Limited, and numerous others. So here we have the Burlington Blackhawk crossing the river on its way up to Minneapolis. You might have seen the river monster, aka Penny. I had to mute a couple of segments of this because she was getting a little frisky. There it is, making the turn around Lockport Industrial. She gets a little frisky again here. Even though you can't see her. She's out in the farmlands of northern Illinois. Numerous notable cities on the route, leaving Chicago, through the suburbs, out to Aurora, out through northern Illinois, to I believe it was Mendota, where it would take the split and go northwest upwards to La Crosse, Wisconsin, where it would cross the Mississippi River. We had followed the west bank of the Mississippi up to the outskirts of the Twin Cities. More northern Illinois farmland. And a 210-2 on display there. And since the Burlington Blackhawk was a overnight train, it's only fitting that we have some overnight shots. And some of the nighttime shots, especially out in the country areas, are pretty dark. And everybody must be asleep on the train because I don't see any lights on. Twinkle of moonlight as it passes the grain elevator. And it's getting close to sunrise. All right. Well, that's our monthly update and our train of the month, the Burlington Blackhawk, here at the Retirement Railroad. Thanks for joining me here today and taking a look at what all we've gotten done in the month of July. And stay tuned. More tips of the day. And August is already starting out as a very busy month, so you want to make sure you watch next month's update. So anyway, I'm Steve. Thanks again for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.